Well, good afternoon. My name is Youssef Ben Lucif. I'm the founding member, North American founding member for AMWater Global. And it's certainly my pleasure to talk about this technology, the AMWater Actify water treatment system. I'm totally passionate about it. And some of you actually back home watching this presentation, you know that I'm the co-founder of Holistic Medical Practice in Chicago. And we use this, me and my partner, Dr. Tobias, with patients who have lost their state of health. And the reason why I'm so passionate is because it's the simplicity of it. You know, most of you are saying back home, what's the big deal about water? As you can see in here, we're going to have different comparison of liquids and waters for you. But water, moreover, water equals life. Water is sine qua non to life. Okay, without it, life will become something of our demise. And as a matter of fact, some of you know that the red planet Mars, the difference between Earth and Mars, and scientists and astrophysicists and NASA constantly pushing that question about water. They want to find another planet with water, because if there is water, typically there is what? Life. And certainly the human body is made with water. We are 75% water creature. Think about it. Our brain is 92% of water. Our blood is 94% of water. Our bones, which we think as solid, are 22% of water. So definitely, without a doubt, we are water creatures. And without it, that could lead to dehydration. And dehydration is not simply the mere fact that our brain is saying, oh, I'm thirsty. Youssef, why don't you go ahead and serve yourself a glass of water? No, 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 no. Dehydration is a very serious medical condition. If that behavior continues for days on end, getting, constantly dehydrated, what's called chronic dehydration, that could lead to serious physiological impediment. Things from strokes to heart attack to thymus gland. You heard about the thymus gland, right? It's a gland right here, plays a huge role in our hormonal system, our endocrine system. And the thymus gland actually matures and activates lymphocytes. That's a technical term. Basically, the blood cells, the white blood cells that go up and down your system and checking out IDs of friends and foe cells. And those cells can check out if there is a cell start turning into mutation before malignancy happens. In other words, before cancer happen in your body. Those cells are like the specialized police that go in and check us out and keep us, our immune system up and protected. And the thymus gland, many studies shows when we get dehydrated, it actually shrinks. The thymus gland is right here. It shrinks by 50%. I don't know about you guys. I don't want my thymus gland to shrink by 50%, okay? I want it watered and I want it plump. So water, it's this incredible thing. One more fact about water. We all relieve ourselves in the morning at least once or twice a day. Going to the bathroom, there is to eliminate the waste and so on from our body. Well, guess what? That peristalsis, also known as bowel movement, you need a quart of water to get all that stuff moving. So if you have a body that is really water thirsty or dehydrated, well, the system, your body, going to find water from other areas. Maybe from other cells, maybe from other tissue, maybe from other organs. So it becomes some physiological complication, and every time you push in your body toward those predicaments, then you're leading your body and you're opening gates of opportunity to your genetic predisposition. And then, of course, if there is diabetes in your family, that's what you're going to have. If there is any cardiovascular problem, that's what you're going to have, osteoporosis, cancer, whatever. So water and hydration is extremely, extremely simple. However, unfortunately, we do not understand the subject of water. And we were born in mother's womb, we were just, swimming in that precious water. And when we were born, we discovered, there is plumbing and there is water. But oftentimes, our idea of water is it's synonymous to clear liquid. You're going to find out today it's more than just clear liquid. Because in our tap, in our kitchen, in our faucet, comes that clear liquid. But unfortunately, I hate to pierce your bubble, or I hate to dishearten you, what's coming out of your kitchen is not water as nature intended water to be. So there is more to the story of the water. Therefore, that's why we have in this presentation. So without further ado, so we're going to start, doing some presentation in here, some comparison of liquids and water, and we're going to have a lot of fun, right? We're going to have a lot of fun. So it's very, I call it the eighth wonder of the world. This little 10-pound consumer appliance is actually serves a 1,000-pound technological wonderment. It is definitely a breakthrough technology. Do not get disillusioned by its size or by its color or whatever. What's coming out of this device. And moreover, what you're going to find out in a few minutes, it does all this technological magnificence without a single drop of chemical. Let me underline that. Without a single drop of chemical. That's really huge. What basically we're going to have water that's going to go to the device, and then, I know we'll talk later on about it, but water going to go to the device, and it goes to different channels, through the filtration system, through an engine called the ionization chamber, and I'll talk in details later on when I explain the machine, the device. But then what's coming out of here, it's a beautiful and precious product called the AMWater Actify. And so today we're going to talk mainly right now about the property of the AMWater Actify. And namely, there are 4 properties. We're going to cover the ORP, oxidation reduction potential. I know it's a mouthful, but we're going to talk about it in detail. Then we're going to talk about the alkalinity and why alkalinity is very important to our body. Okay? You know, you remember from high school, the pH, okay? Potential hydrogen, you're either alkaline or acidic. And then we're going to talk about the microcluster. And then last but not least, our wonderful technology from AMWater Global is the AFT. And the AFT stands for amized fusion technology. And that's the 0-point energy. And really, it's an incredible scientific tour de force where the company took AFT and put it in this device. Therefore, this is very, very unique. Ionization is not unique. Ionizers, they're out there in the marketplace. As a matter of fact, in Japan and so on, in Korea, people are used to the negative, what they call negative water, and I'm going to show you why we're talking about negative water. But as far as this device, as an energizer, it's the only one in the planet. Okay? So, and you're going to see what it means to you. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start these liquid presentations, okay? And for that, I'm going to need some cups. How about that? All right. We're going to compare Gatorade and Sprite and Aquafina and Dasani. And not to pick on any particular brand, guys. Arrowhead, sparkling water. We're going to compare the good old vodka. And you have to understand one thing, folks. This is really, we're not picking on Sprite. That statement is really ubiquitous throughout any soda, whether it's Coke, Sprite, whatever. But we're picking it because it's liquid. And so I can show you the ORP and the pH is much easier. Same thing with Gatorade. We picked this clear Gatorade. Okay? So, without further ado, we're going to put this thing in here. And you know what? Athletes drink a lot of these things, right? Gatorade. And we assume, as consumers, if athletes drink that, it must be good for us, right? Well, we're going to find out if it is. Sprite, good old Sprite. I used to drink a lot of soda. I don't anymore, because I understand it better now, okay? Aquafina. And it's amazing. You see people all over the airport buying this water at the tune of $4 a bottle. And it is just totally crazy and nonsense when they find out exactly what are these products contributing to their body from an oxidation and from acidity and so on. Smart water. Okay, let's take it from the top like this. You've probably seen Jennifer Aniston, you know, representing Smart Water, and Tom Brady from the NFL, Smart Water. And again, rich and famous and athletes, if they drink this water, they must be what? Good for us. Well, we're going to find out. This is really whoa, hello. Ha-ha! Champagne, anybody? Or maybe Aero sparkling water, anybody? Okay, we're going to put some in here. Okay. That was a little different thing. How about Sky Vodka?
That's my favorite.
Is your favorite? Okay. All right. Wow. No, just kidding. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of vodka in here. And this is going to represent all alcoholic drink, obviously. This is not just Sky Vodka. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of tap water. This is Sacramento tap water. I know that I'm from Chicago, and in Chicago we have Lake Michigan water. But it goes to water treatment system. It's not any different, okay, than in here in Sacramento. And then we're going to have our prized water, our AMWater Actify. Okay, as this will fill up, is it number 4 setting there? You can see it?
It says 1 flow 1 and 17 on the other side.
Okay. No, that's fine, that's fine. But I was just looking. Okay, that's cool. Okay, we're going to have some of our AMWater as this filling out. Then we're going to show you the ORP. Let me talk a little bit about the ORP. ORP is an acronym that stands for Oxidation Reduction Potential. Don't be impressed by the expression. I know it's a mouthful. All it means is this. It's a scale of measurement. Same thing like potential hydrogen for pH. But what the ORP is measuring, how fast a liquid or a food helps oxidize the body, or how slowing that oxidation can occur. In other words, how fast are you aging, or how slow you are aging. See, the body is constantly oxidizing just from the environment. That's our nature, that's how we are made. And you're going to see a cool test later on. I'm going to show you about CO2, you know, carbon dioxide and oxidity, and why we have lungs and so on and so forth. So the ORP is a scale that is measured in millivolt, in electricity, an electrical value. It's going to have the negative value, and it's going to have the positive value. The positive value is something extremely bad for us. The negative value is extremely good for us. This is the only time where you can say, I'm negative and I feel good, okay? That's why, by the way, this water is called in Japan and Korea negative water. And you're going to see these values. And with that, I'm going to help myself with an ORP meter, because there is such thing that can measure that potential of oxidation. Now we're going to take some of our water, okay? We're going to put it right up front in here, and put a little bit of tap water in here. And then some of our water. Now, we're going to use this meter, which is an ORP meter. Okay, it's going to read the value in negative and positive number, depending on the state of these various liquids. And you know, I want to bring to your attention, audience, that you could see in here, everything is looking clear. So if I did one of those Pepsi challenge or whatever, I blindfolded you, and you say, is this an Aquafina, is this a tap water? You'll be very hard pressed unless you taste it and unless you become a connoisseur of these various liquids, then you can start guessing. But otherwise, a clear liquid is clear liquid and is clear liquid. And that's what we want to bridge that gap of understanding, because not all clear liquids are good for us. So we're going to use this. And how about George? Could you help me out, George? Sure. To read this value? So if you see a positive value in here, call it positive and give me the value. Remember, this is going to go up and down a little bit. See it when it stabilizes and call that number. Good enough? All right. Let's go ahead and use this, ORP meter. And in here, this is the Gatorade.
Positive 265.
Positive 265. How about Aquafina?
Positive 277.
277. How about the Aquafina now? It was a Sprite before. Sorry.
Positive 293.
Okay, 293. How about the Dasani?
Positive 254.
254. How about Smart Water?
Positive 253.
Okay. So it's oxidizing. So far we've seen these drinks, if you drink them, they're going to oxidize your cells at this kind of rate. Go ahead. The Arrowhead spring water?
Positive 275.
Okay. How about the vodka?
Positive 284.
284?
And climbing.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. How about the tap water?
It's positive 360.
360? So vodka is better than tap water. Okay, folks, anyone that has grandkids? Okay, you have grandkids. What's your name? Greg, right? Okay, Greg, when your grandkids come to visit you for the holiday, don't serve them tap water, serve them vodka. It's healthier for them. Now you know why those Russian hockey players are really, really husky, right? Bread on vodka. How about our water?
Well, it's
still going.
Going down. It's positive, but it's going down. 1, 90, 70, 50, 40, 30. Negative.
Oh.
Negative.
Gosh.
1,
Oh.
6, what, 2? It's going up.
Oh.
Negative 300, 3,
Say it loud. What's the number?
357, 360. It's just going up, going down.
Negative 360, folks, and we're still going down. What is it now?
373.
373. So as you can see, this is climbing quite a bit. And that's why negative water is good for you. And basically what you've been here witnessing is when you drink this water and you help yourself and you take it like this, and like I'm doing here, cheers. This has what's called a hydroxyl, which is a negative ion. Because the water went through an electrolysis process, there are huge 5 titanium platinum covered plates. These are solid plates. And in that, the molecule of the water gets split into 2. That's why it's also called restructured water. And what comes out of here, it's minus ion, or minus H. And that in chemistry is called a hydroxyl. And because it's a hydroxyl, it goes inside your body, and it takes all of those free radical, that inside your body, because free radical are positively charged. You remember that game Pac-Man? Right? This is when you drink it, actually, it's going to look for all the free radical, plus and minus bind, and through your dialysis in your bladder, you're going to eliminate all these free radicals. And in essence, what have we done? We changed our regular water that's come in abundance to our kitchen, to our home from the municipalities, into an antioxidant. And why is it important? Because we oxidize constantly. As a matter of fact, if you took an apple or a banana or an avocado and you cut it in half and you left it a couple hours on the kitchen table, what happened to it? It turns brown. That browning is rusting. That rust is oxidizing. The same thing happens to every single cell of our 70 trillion cells we have in our body. So, as you can see, this is a really important medical or health proposition to drink negative water, because now we turn in here, it's almost acting as vitamin C or alpha lipoic acid or essential fatty acid and so on. So guys, look at this. See all this grayish quality of this water? I know most people, if they get this out of their tap water, they said, oh my Lord, what are we getting here? It's time to call the plumber. It's time to do something about it, right? Because it's kind of scary. But this is actually the wonder of this water. This is the beauty of the water. This is the wholesomeness of this water. When you drink this, just think of it like you're drinking a bunch of vitamin C. It becomes a free radical scavenger. This is a negative ion, and the best time to drink it is straight out of the device. As a matter of fact, the ORP lasts only 24 hours and then is going to degrade back to zero, to a neutral state. Why? Because the environment is constantly beating it, and it too becomes oxidizing like regular tap water. Remember what I said on the onset of this little presentation, that this device, the AMWater Actify by AMWater Global, does not change the quality of the water with any chemical, does not use any chemical. As a matter of fact, a lot of ionizers out there in the marketplace, they use what's something called electrolysis enhancer, okay, to create this quality of water, to create the minus 400 ORP and whatnot. So this is as far as the ORP quality of the water, okay? Now what we're going to do, we're going to check out the pH. Are you guys ready? And I want to bring your attention to this little frame in here. That's a pH scale there. And in pH, potential hydrogen, if you remember from high school, you're either in an acidic state or an alkaline state. Something about us as a human being, we do not need help to be more acidic. By lifestyle and environment, we are always acidic. Our biological terrain, our body meaning, okay, is constantly pushed toward an acidic state. 80% of what we buy from the store is acidic, acid-forming food. And so therefore, our body is constantly pushing toward acidic. And as Dr. Otto Warburg is a Nobel Prize winner, he's actually a scientist and a doctor from Germany, and he won his Nobel Prize. And he said in his root cause of cancer thesis, he said, cancer cannot grow in an alkaline, slightly oxygenated environment. Let me repeat, and that's his quote. Cancer cannot grow. Cancer, any other pathology, any other disease, cannot fester in a terrain that is alkaline. So it behooves us to be more alkaline than acidic. And we're going to show you how you could become alkaline without having to eat a lot of roughage and 3 pounds of broccoli in the morning and 5 pounds of spinach at night. And if that is not enough, then you get to do it tomorrow again, and so on and so forth. And you see, that's just impossible. Because of lifestyle and environment and stress, our bodies constantly move into that acidic state. And now, by investing in one of these devices, you just go to it, you drink it, and you bring in your body into an alkaline. So pay attention, this is really going to be cool. And with that, I'm going to use my pH tester. This is a solution. Basically, I'm going to put 4 drops in every cup. And if it is acidic, it's going to go all the way from yellow to really acidic to an orange state. And I like to think of it like Homeland Security. Orange. Meh, meh, meh. This is really, really, really bad if it's orange. But of course, if it's good, it's going to become blue. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a few drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so already, guys, you can go ahead and compare. Just watch these glasses and look at the picture there, the pH.
Why is everybody have their eyes on the vodka?
That never fails. Every presentation that I do. All right, so here, guys, we're going to use a stir, and then we're going to use something we're going to separate. Yeah, we're going to use this glass, okay? So, guys, watch this. I'm going to give it a little stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir, stir. To keep this test as objective as possible. We don't want contamination from one glass to the next, okay? And those of you at home watching this presentation, I hope you get to see the different colors that we get in here. It's really pretty. And I'm going to make a quick comment on each one of them.
Why do see different shades of orange? You see that? Orange goes up to red, then green, yellow, and
All right. I like it when my audience get excited. Yeah, because this is the whole idea of this presentation. You know, it's like the old saying, facts tell, stories sell. You know, we don't want to just keep it to the intellectual, to the academic level. Folks, we're talking about your body. As a matter of fact, pay attention to the comment I'm going to make at the end of this little test. And you're going to really, the point is going to drive home. Look at how orange this thing. Compare that to I mean, this is extremely acidic. I don't remember which university that ran a study. They said if you keep on drinking soda, 8 ounces of soda or 12 ounces a day for 5 years, that condition could lead you toward osteopenia. And osteopenia is a precursor to osteoporosis. Osteoporosis, the brittling of the bone, is also called the silent killer. I mean, this is a serious, serious offense. But out of mind, out of sight, that type thing. And out of sight, out of mind, whatever, you know, we don't think too much about it because it's just water, it's just another soda. No, it's not. Look at the Aquafina. And you know the irony of it? Whether Aquafina or Dasani, you could see, you know, the state, they're both acidic. You know, you go to the gym and you see people, you know, on the treadmill. So they're doing the right thing. They know they need to exercise and to be fit and trim. But you know what, in break, what they do? Like this, and they start taking their Aquafina. And I'm right beside them saying, no, 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 no. Don't drink the Aquafina. Drink the AMWater Actify. Because why? Counterproductive. And also, if you exercise, this is a little sidebar. If you exercise a lot, your oxidation potential increases. And that's why you hear sometimes of perfect athletes can fall, sudden heart attack and so on. If your lungs and your kidneys cannot keep up with that oxidation because it's very hard on the body, you could have also problems. So you can go the other side of that doing a good thing, right? Smart water is kind of less acidic, still a little bit acidic, okay?
call that neutral?
No, neutral is a little bit orangey.
No, I see.
Yeah, a little bit yellowish. But almost as to its, you know, credit, it's almost like tap water. But folks, tap water, by federal mandate, the municipality must bring the water before they bring it to the consumer, to our plumbing, into a 7.0 neutral state. And you know how they do that? By throwing tons of lye and ammonia and a lot of caustic agent to create and manipulate. Then they put tons of chlorine, which is going to be our next test. And chlorine is carcinogenic. I hope this is not earth-shattering news. Chlorine is bad for us, okay? And then they put fluoride and they put all kind of other junk, okay? So what you have out of your tap water, it is not water as nature intended to be. Now, ta-da! For the start of our presentation, folks, this is our AMWater Actify, and this is applaudable. Come on, folks, let's give it. This is amazing. Think about it. Now, here's my little comment. Watch this. I want you for a second, forget this coming from regular drinks that we know in the marketplace. Think of them, this is the quality of your cells inside your body. Are you guys with me a little bit in here? Yeah. This is like, unbeknown to us, maybe symptoms have not declared themselves in terms of illness. Maybe we start feeling kind of tired and a little bit fatigued, okay? Number one complaint in doctors' offices in America is fatigue. Interesting, in Oriental medicine, fatigue is a serious offense because it could be something, an inflammation happening. And you know about inflammation. Today, a lot of studies about inflammation. So think of it this yourself. Actually, this is almost carcinogenic cell. Well, let's take this state, okay? So you start going toward an impending gloom and doom unbeknown to you. Typically, when you have the symptoms, typically, it's a little bit too little, too late. Now you're going from a preventive care, from a prophylactic measure to crisis care. Now you're going to go to the doctor, and you know what the doctor is going to give you? Drugs that are going to make you more acidic, and so on and so forth, right? And so watch what we're going to do with this. This is your body. So you invest in this water device, and you start drinking, and look at your cells, your 70 trillion cells.
Wow. Whoa. Whoa. That's impressive. That is impressive.
I've done many of these presentations, and I always pulls a smile in my face. This is an amazing thing. And that's why I told you, think of your body, cells, not these liquids. Okay, let's go to the tap water. Look at the tap water. See? Look at the vodka.
Get over right. Look at that. There's your vodka. Look at how it went blue first.
See? It goes through that pH. And I'm going to tell you something, guys, something about pleomorphism. And kind of, I love, I'm passionate about educating and teaching people about, you know, the point is not to turn into a healthcare professional. My point is education. It's a lot of empowerment. If you teach people, for example, sugar is a poison. Stay away from sugar, okay? And sugar, by the way, brings you into an acidic state very fast. That's why if you have cancer or whatever, you should not take sugar. From a holistic standpoint, your naturopath doctor will tell you stop all form of sugar. Did you notice something?
Yeah.
It took a long time and it's not churning. Now let's keep on showing you this. Churning, right? Let's see the Aquafina. Churning. Let's see Sprite. Not churning. Let's see Gatorade. The reason why it's not churning, for example, Sprite is 2.5 in a pH scale. It's extremely acidic. Since the pH scale is exponential in nature, it's not a linear scale, it's logarithmic, you don't have to worry about all this little jargon about the math of it. Bottom line, just you have to think, Sprite is 50,000 times more acidic than neutral. Wow. It takes, folks, 50 same containers to bring this, not even to this state, to bring it just to a neutral state at 7.0. That's called, a 50-to-1 ratio. It's just an amazing thing. As a matter of fact, watch this. So you have your little thing, and you have your Aquafina or whatever, you have this thing, and your body now, your cells are good, and you feel good because you invested in this device, and you start drinking it. I said, now I'm healthy. Now I can go to the local bar or and I'm going to party down. Okay, well, let's find out. Okay, so we have our body now is doing very good, and we are really good. We have energy, we sleep better, it's cool, isn't it? And then you go and you party.
Oh, wow.
And bam, and you turn immediately into an acidic state. Wow. So if you did it once in a company picnic to have a hot dog, or you go to the ballpark, hot dog and Sprite, It's okay. Nobody lives in a perfect absolute, okay? But if you do it daily, this is detrimental to your health. It will bring your house or your temple down, literally. So for those people who drink a lot of coffee, those people who drink a lot of soda, those people who eat a lot of acid-forming food, they play in Russian roulette. By the way, there's a direct correlation between acidity, acid-forming food, and things like GERD, gastroesophageal reflux disease, also called acid reflux, right? Cancer, definitely cancer. A lot of different of these diseases and illnesses is because your body went away from that homeostasis. A perfect blood is 7.365. A perfect healthy body has a blood of 7.365, slightly alkaline. Isn't this amazing? But then you said, oh, don't worry, Yusuf, because I invested in my water divide. I'm going to go home and I'm going to bring my body into an alkaline. No, you won't. 50-to-1 ratio. Okay? So this is incredible. Now, let me show you this. Look at it. It's really colorful, but more important than just color, you know, the significance of it from a health standpoint. Because that's what this presentation is all about. We're bridging the gap, something that totally technologically advanced, that the theoretical, the quantum physics, the quantum mechanics of the AFT technology and so on, to something that we can wrap our head around it saying, because people are not really interested about the nitty-gritty of things. You know, we come in a house, we see a dark room, we go to the wall, we flip the switch to get the light. People are interested about the benefits, not interested about how we get there. But we have to show this presentation to kind of, you know, erect some kind of a backdrop of validation. A good validated science is always good. But at the end of the day, it's about grandma can go and help herself and drink. All of a sudden, her body will move to that homeostasis. What's homeostasis? Internal balance, internal equilibrium. When you're in homeostasis, you are in an ease state. And when you're in ease state, what does not exist? The disease state, the disorder. And you can do this just by drinking water. I mean, isn't that amazing? The simplicity of it. And that's the portion I get so enamored of with AMWater Global and even with all the other tools, is the simplicity. It's the practicality of our technology and all these accessories. So it's wonderful. I'm going to show you something really quickly, and that's I'm going to bring the point home. Why our body by nature, because of our lifestyle and environment, we constantly get beat up. Our cells constantly being hammered. Okay, here's a cute word for you called exposome. What does it mean? It's a brand new word, by the way. You can look it up and Google it. That means the body ability to magnetize or attract everything from the environment. All the bad stuff, things like free radicals, and some free radicals actually we start classifying them like xenobiotic, and you find them in breast cancer and so on. You can put a stop to that by just drinking water. Is that wonderful? And nature gave us a set of lungs, and guess what? We have lungs. We have lungs obviously to get oxygen into our body. That's the first and primary purpose. But there is a second, equal, more important and more quintessential actually function of the lung is what? Taking the carbon dioxide out, which is the byproduct of waste. Remember when your blood goes in your body, it carries oxygen and nutrients, and it takes out and it's way back? All kind of toxicity and acidity and so on. And I'm going to show you some little bit of a biochemistry that's going to happen in here and to make my point. So this is, think of it, this is your cells. You're totally alkaline, you're in a state of homeostasis. But then because of your behavior, going to lifestyle and you live life with reckless abandon or drinking a lot of alcohol, drinking a lot of coffee, getting stressed out and doing all this gesticulation, and your body start putting a lot of acidity at a rate where your kidneys cannot anymore eliminate it. And that could lead to symptoms, and symptoms could lead to problems, and differently to aging, a fast way of aging. Look at this. I'm going to show you what my lung is going to do. And tell me a little bit when this water changes color.
There's some orange going on behind the scenes. Oh, yeah, there it is.
I better stop before I hyperventilate in here. Okay, guys, what have you witnessed? This is not a magic trick. It's biology 101, chemistry 101. That's what our lungs, every time we exhale, that's why exhaling deep is really important. Getting all the toxins out, this is CO2. And we went from a total perfect pH of whatever in that pH scale to an acidic. So now you start bringing and joining the gap every time you eat sugar, every time you drink alcohol, every time you drink a lot of coffee, every time you take all these acid-forming food, soda, every time you take in all that stuff, you end up by throwing your body into more oxidation state. So your lungs now are fighting, your kidneys are fighting, everything is fighting to keep you alive and to keep you healthy. So therefore, folks, this is what you witnessed today. I think speaks volume in terms of health, and it behooves you to share this good message. And I understand bad news travel faster than good news, but this good news, we're going to make it travel extremely fast all over the world of Omega, because this is the self-care movement, and that's what the company's mission is all about. Taking the good news of people and tell them, you know, invest in this device, put it right there on the kitchen counter, exactly like what we're doing in here, and you're going to enjoy a beautiful, wholesome product. Now we're going to clean house, and we're going to throw all the way. Anybody want some soda?
Definitely no.
Come on, it's going to the trash can. Come on. It's okay, guys. No? All right, fine. How about smart water?
No thanks.
I'm not so sure it's smart.
How about the vodka? No, this one we're going to keep, okay? So we're going to keep it right here.
Special occasion.
All right, that's great. Now what I'm going to show you guys is chlorine, the chlorine state of our water. And we understand about chlorine, by the way, guys, right? Mm-hmm. Chlorine is nasty, okay? It's carcinogenic without a doubt, okay? And we're going to show you with just a little liquid called OTO. You can buy this out of any pool supply store, okay? To check out, like if you have a swimming pool or whatever, to check out the chlorine content. So, obviously the tap water, okay? And this is our water that is treated. And by the way, a little correction. I hear a lot of people calling this a water filter. That's a grave mistake. This is not a water filter. It has a filtration system, but it definitely is not a water filter. On any day, you could go to any hardware store and buy a water filter for 80 bucks. This is a water treatment system. It gives you all these properties I've been talking about. And let's go back to that chlorine. And I'm going to use one of these, okay, like we did before. Look at this. Look how much chlorine the municipalities.
That's a 1.0 or a 1.5.
And if you look at it in the chlorine chart, is off the chart. But yet, if I ask you, would you like to drink this?
Okay, no, thank you.
But you know what? You've been drinking it every time you go to a restaurant.
Ew.
Because out of sight is out of mind. But what you cannot see can actually kill you. Okay? And so this is very, very toxic. This is carcinogenic. This has been established about 20 years ago now. And the hotter the environment, okay, place like in the summer, they put a lot of chlorine because of bacteria infestation and so on. But it's just an amazing thing. How many of you love to cook?
Love it.
Okay? Okay, I'm gonna, are you guys hungry? I'm gonna fix you a meal. Okay? Yeah, definitely. Today, I'm gonna make a paella. How many of you love paella? You know, Spanish omelet and all that? Okay, watch me. This is like Ron Popeil at work. Okay, so we're gonna take this onion, because I expect this. If you're gonna have you as guests in my house, and I'm gonna cook a meal for you, you expect me to wash my vegetable before I cook, right? Oh, yeah. And my hands and all that. That's part of normal sanitary protocol, right? Okay, so let's see. I'm expecting you. I'm a big waste. So throw the other half of the onion. So what I'm going to do, before I make my omelet, my paella, I'm going to take this onion, and as you expected, we're going to do what with it? Clean it. And we're going to clean it with what? Because you don't have the AMWater Actify yet.
Tap water.
Yet. We're going to clean it with tap water. Okay, so we're going to take our onion. We dump it there. Okay, and we're going to clean it. And then, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to fix you that paella. Because it's going to taste so good. It's my favorite dish. I'm good at it too. Okay, so, Oh, wow. What happened to the chlorine?
It went in the onion. Oh. It did.
What happened to... I think I should cook my paella with this.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't clean the onion, we cleaned the water from its toxic element.
Transferred it.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? But yet, we do not know about what's happening. And we go and we cook it for our loved ones and for our children. And you know, we even have seconds. Yeah, it tastes so good. Give me another. Yeah, give me more chlorine, honey. I'm ready for a second. You know, I mean, this is like totally crazy. It's nonsense. But this, now you understand the business of cancer. In 1950, it used to be 1 out of 30,000 people had cancer. Today is 1 out of 4. In a space of 60 years. What went wrong? It's not one only factor that has changed. It's all about lifestyle and environment. Our health, guys, our health outcome, it will depend on 3 factors. One is the genetic predisposition, our genes. You know, the cards that has been dealt at us at birth, right? We didn't have no say-so, you know. And so that's the genes. But then also there is the lifestyle and environment. But here's the good news. 80% is lifestyle and environment. 20% is only genes. So we know that even healthy body, you know, have cancer cells. We know that. The difference between somebody without cancer and somebody get diagnosed with cancer on a Monday morning at the doctor's office is the ability of us to keep those cancer cells at bay. How do you keep them at bay? Paying attention to the lifestyle, the things you drink and you eat and so on, and to the environment, with the quality of the environment, the stress, the pH, the ORP, the stuff that we already talked about. So this is an extremely important lesson to understand. And you know, people, because they don't see it, I tell people, you know what? When was the last time you saw a virus or a bacterium? We don't see it. Are you telling me viruses don't exist? They're everywhere in here. But so is electromagnetic frequency, so stuff that unbeknown to our consciousness that's happening, and you get the idea, right? Bringing our body a little by little, a little bit of here, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and before you know it, symptoms, and before you know it, disease, and before you know it, you have problems and more problems and more problems. And the doctor will give you more drugs, which not helping anything because that's just answering to the symptoms. It's like putting a Band-Aid over a wound. You have to go to the root cause. And the root cause, who wants to deal with the root cause? Let's do prevention. And that's what the presentation today. An ounce of prevention equal a pound of cure. That's what we're talking about. Isn't this great? Yes, yes, absolutely. What we're going to do right now is a tomato test. But you know what's so cool? I'm using in here, this tomatoes coming from Mexico, Nature Sweet. And you know, in some countries, you know, they send us, you know, vegetables and produce like grapes from Chile and so on. And some of these countries do not have the same agricultural standards that we have in North America, in the United States and Canada. They still use, believe it or not, insecticides, pesticides, and herbicides. How would you like, from this technology, you can take something inorganic and turn it totally organic? Wouldn't that be cool? Just with water, without a drop of chemical. This is an amazing thing. So let's do it. So I put 4 tomatoes in here. We're going to use tap water. And I'm going to call these your tomatoes, because you do not have an AMWater Actify. And this, I'm going to call it my tomatoes, because I have an AMWater Actify, okay? And so what we're going to do, we're going to give them a little swishing around, okay? Just like bait them like this a little bit. Tomatoes have tendency to like merry-go-rounds and, oh, yeah, turn a little bit more, faster, faster. Okay? And then we're going to take this one, going to give them an equal amount of turn around, swishing around. Okay? And we're going to let them sit for just like a minute or 2, if that long. In the meantime, folks, I was going to talk to you about something called, this book is by Dr. Beth Mangelage, and if you want to lay your hand on it, it's an absolute phenomenal book. And why? It talks about quality of water, it talks about hydration, and it talks about, and it's written for the lay person. So it's very easy, it's an easy read. What I like is the caption in here. The title of the book is Your Body Many Cries for Water, okay? And the title said, you're not sick, you're thirsty. Don't treat thirst with medication. Yeah, that's just amazing. A little trivia for you. 40% of the geriatric population, the elder people, when they go to emergency room, 42%, up to 42%, actually dehydrated. Wow. And you can avoid that call to 911 just by hydrating, by super hydrating. By the way, what's so good about our device is a super hydrator because of that quality of microcluster. It just goes inside our body because it's a negative ion, it's a small compact molecule. Now, we're going to use our cups in here and we're going to take out the water and we're going to show you if the quality of water actually in fact has changed. So these are your tomatoes cleaned with the tap water. And these are my tomatoes cleaned with the AMWater Actify.
That's got yellow in it.
Wow.
That is yellow.
You see, guys? Take a look at in here. What we pulled out of these tomatoes actually is pesticide, insecticides, and herbicide, chemicals that need not to be. And we're not going to leave it to the visual. What we're going to do is something even better. We're going to ask you, the audience, would you like to try some tomatoes? That would be cool. Why don't you, Lori, pass around? Everybody will take one tomato, okay? So those are the AMWater Actify tomato. Let's call them the eAmega tomatoes, okay? And go ahead, pass it around.
Just like a tomato.
Just like a tomato, okay? And now we're going to chase it, or the second one we're going to eat, or you're going to taste rather, is the one that is cleaned by the regular tap water, municipal water. See if there is a difference. Come on, you gotta, I know, you gotta continue, you gotta swallow it. Look at their faces, look at Lori, look at George. And I had actually,
Were you saying yummy to that tomato before?
no, you gotta eat it. No spitting out of the tomato. And that's amazing, guys, when you really think about it. Now, any comments in here on the tomatoes? The before
Night
and
and day difference.
night and day.
Oh, big difference.
Big difference?
Sweeter and water.
Yes, sweeter tomato.
Totally different.
You know what it reminds me? I used to have, a little garden in my house and, a backyard garden. It reminds you of homegrown tomatoes, homegrown vegetables, because these are awesome. And there's nothing, the simple pleasures of life. Just go to your backyard and get a little tomatoes and get a little basil and do some pesto and do all kind of stuff with it and cook with it. That's pleasurable lifestyle. And you can achieve that. And you can do a lot of things. See, this device, and we'll talk to you later on about actually the different waters and the different grades. It's not just for drinking. It's for drinking, it's for cleaning, it's for cooking, it's for disinfecting, taking out all the chemicals. Yeah, you can actually take a glass of water from this AMWater Actify because of the AFT property of the water. You put it full, you put it in the fridge, and you actually can extend the shelf life of molded cheese or molded fruits and vegetables. Because of the AFT, energize the whole entire cabinet, the fridge in this case. So there are a lot of different functions that you could have in here. It's not just for drinking. Okay, great. Thank you, folks. Thank you for putting up with my bad jokes and my presentation in here. I hope you enjoyed it, but moreover, I hope you really get to your heart, about this, why we are so passionate about it, why I'm so passionate about it, why so many healthcare professionals start sharing it with patients. And you can do that whether you are unhealthy or healthy. Doesn't make any difference. It's a great investment. And thank you for coming. Those of you who are at home watching this, thank you guests for coming because this presentation is really for you guests. Please get back to the person that invited you to see this technology. And I hope you too will come to the same conclusion as I did 18 months ago, is investing in all of the product of AMWater Global for a better health and better body, better mind and better spirit. Thank you for your time.